Hey, how's it going guys? Ryan here. And it's been a very long time since I posted a video, so hello again. And during that time, the new season of Arrested Development finally came to Netflix. The only bad part about this is that we only got 8 episodes, but I hear part 2 will be released sometime before 2018 is up, so at least there's that. In the meantime, here are 20 facts you didn't know about Arrested Development.
Somewhere over the rainbow, there's another rainbow.
With the show as funny as Arrested Development, it's a wonder that actors could get through scenes without laughing. According to Will Arnett, nobody made the other actors crack up more than Tony Hale, who played Buster.
Look who's ragging on the old lady!
Hey!
Finally? Because I'm an uptight Buster! You old horny slut!
Rainn Wilson was the first choice to play Jobe, not Will Arnett. Creator Mitch Hurwitz has said in interviews that nobody really played Jobe like a guy who thought of himself as the chosen son, even though in reality, it was obvious to everyone else that he was the least favorite one. Thank God things turned out the way they did though. Can you imagine if Rainn Wilson ended up playing Jobe while Will Arnett got the role of Dwight? Maybe in a weird alternate universe, that's the case.
Hey. Yeah, the guy in the $4,000 suit is holding the elevator, but the guy doesn't make that in 3 months. Come on!
Arrested Development was sued by a rap group with the same name for copyright infringement. They even make several pointed references to the lawsuit throughout the show.
Motherboy was also a heavy metal band that used to rock pretty hard in the 70s. We are legally obligated to make the distinction.
The Banana Stand was based on a real-life business from creator Mitch Hurwitz's life. When Mitch was a young kid and stayed with his father over the summer, he and his brother would bake cookies and sell them in front of the house. Their father encouraged them to get a stand on the beach to sell their cookies, and they did. After a reporter from the LA Times did a news story on their stand, it ended up turning into a wildly successful business. They were so crazy popular that Hurwitz made enough money to pay for the college education for both his brother and himself.
Banana. Buck. Banana. Take a buck.
Something you may not have known is that Alessandra Torresani played Anne for one episode in the first season before Mae Whitman took over the role. The original idea with Anne was to have a different actress play her in every episode, which was supposed to give the audience the same reaction that Michael had every time he didn't recognize her.
Oh, Anne! Yes. I know, Anne. Hey, you!
The idea of a character being played by different actresses accidentally happened with Marta Estrella. She was originally played by Leonor Varela, who had to leave due to scheduling issues. Marta was then played by Patricia Velasquez for the remainder of the season. At first, the people at Fox weren't happy with Arrested Development and its brand of humor. They preferred shows with relatable protagonists, not a family full of unlikable rich people.
And if I'm gonna be staying here...
Staying here? What, did that Mexican throw you out?
She's not that Mexican, Mom. She's my Mexican. And she's Colombian or something.
Mitch Hurwitz often bore the brunt of Fox's wrath, and at one point, they actually wanted him to sign a contract that would agree to make the show around 20 to 30% easier to understand. He obviously refused, but how they would have even been able to enforce this rule remains a mystery. In the first episode of Arrested Development, it's revealed that Tobias was once a respected doctor of some sort, but lost his medical license when he performed CPR on a man who was only sleeping. And while this may seem like a totally unbelievable situation, it happened in real life. Mitch Hurwitz revealed that he knew someone who lost their medical license for performing CPR on a sleeping person, so he decided to include it in the show. The idea for Arrested Development was born with Ron Howard and his movie Ed TV, which was based around documenting someone's life with a camera. The movie didn't do too well at the box office, although I thought it was a novel concept for the time, and so did Ron Howard. He approached Imagine Television for a show that filmed like a reality series, but was actually scripted. This led to the creation of Arrested Development, and Hurwitz asking Ron Howard to be the narrator. It was only supposed to be a one-time thing, as Howard thought his involvement was over, but the creators wanted him to stay on, as they thought that having some star power would make it less likely that the show would be cancelled. At the end of season 4, George Bluth had no testosterone left in his body and was preparing to live his life as a woman, which was going to be a storyline for the 5th season, but this plan was quickly changed due to the fact that Jeffrey Tambor already played a trans woman on the show Transparent, and the creators were afraid that going down the same road would be too repetitive. Jeffrey Tambor was also accused of sexual misconduct on the set of Transparent, which led to his firing, although he denies the allegations. Then, when the cast sat down with the New York Times for an interview about the new season, Jessica Walter emotionally recounted how Tambor had once apparently screamed at her on set. Take a listen.
I have to let go of being angry at him. He never crossed the line on our show with any, sexual whatever. Verbally, yes, he harassed me, but he did apologize. I have to let it go, and I have to give you a chance to for us to be friends again.
Absolutely.
When producers told Ron Howard that Liza Minnelli was their dream choice to play Lucille too, Howard asked her himself. He'd known her his whole life, as Minnelli used to babysit Howard as a child.
Popcorn shrimp with club sauce, chicken fingers.
Oh, stop it, you're making me dizzy.
With spicy club sauce.
No, stop it.
The Russo Brothers, who headed both Captain America's Civil War and Avengers Infinity War, actually directed several episodes of Arrested Development back in the day. They paid homage to their former show with the Bluth Company stair car right in the middle of the big fight sequence in Civil War. Also, in the new Infinity War, the character of Tobias appears for a brief second as an Easter egg to when he attempted to join the Blue Man Group.
Do you have an audition yet?
Oh, no, I'm not in the group yet. No, I'm afraid I just blew myself.
David Cross was brought in to audition for Arrested Development because the creators knew him from Mr. Show. He was originally asked to play either Buster or Jobe, but knowing that he couldn't do those characters effectively, he pushed for the role of Tobias. He of course got the role, but during the first day of filming he ran into a problem. The president of Fox actually halted production because David Cross was sporting a mustache for his role as Tobias. Fox executive Gail Berman had a rule for male sitcom characters: no hats, no mustaches, and no fluffy shirts. How David Cross was able to change her mind, I guess we'll never know. In the episode Family Ties, Michael believes that he has another sibling named Nellie. He doesn't realize that Nellie is in fact a prostitute which is used by his father, and that Jobe is secretly her pimp. What you may not have known is that the role is actually played by Jason Bateman's sister, Justine Bateman.
So we're not related, huh?
No, it's like maybe a BJ? Hand job?
Maybe.
Tobias's fear of being naked is a real condition called gymnophobia.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I need you to be completely undressed.
I am completely undressed.
You probably didn't recognize Dr. Stein, who reattaches Jobe's fingers and adds some spring to his step. He's incredibly famous, but not for his face. Dan Castellaneta is better known as doing the voice for Homer Simpson.
Oh, the operation went pretty smoothly, but once I got in there, the appendix wasn't so inflamed.
The role of Jobe helped propel Will Arnett into Hollywood stardom, especially when you talk about animated shows, as he's had roles in everything from BoJack Horseman to the Lego Batman movie. Something I only found out recently is that the character of Jobe was directly inspired by Richard E. Grant's character in Whitnell and I. Whitnell comes from a wealthy family much like Jobe, yet threw it all away to pursue a career in acting. He is also extremely self-absorbed and utterly convinced that he is the most important person in the world.
I'll show the lot of you! I'm gonna be a star!
Actress Aaliyah Shawkat was only 14 when she took on the role of Maybe Funk. She hadn't even kissed a boy until she shared her first kiss on screen with Michael Cera. She told the AV Club that it was a bit awkward, especially considering the fact that her father was on set watching everything go down.
That cousin of yours is a hell of a girl. It's too bad you can't date her.
No, I meant... Wait, you wouldn't have a problem with that? Nothing.
Mitch Hurwitz has said that the name Michael is an intentional shout out to The Godfather. Both main characters start out on the straight and narrow, but end up getting dragged into the schemes of their family, and they eventually get somewhat corrupted. The father is the true power behind the family, and things go haywire when he becomes incapacitated. The oldest son is the loudmouth womanizer who isn't suited for the role he inherited. There is the screw-up son and the spoiled sister who has terrible taste in men. They are helped by a lawyer who is almost like a blood relative. And finally, two of the younger members of the family are cousins who have engaged in incest. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.